With the latest, I'm joined by our senior political correspondent, Mike LeCouture. Mike, good morning. We are hearing from the whistleblower. She put out a statement through her lawyer. What is she saying, and explain what she claims happened violating the rules?
Yeah, so first off, let's start with her claim, and that is that she says that Patrick Brown personally helped to arrange by text message, she says she has these text messages, to be arranged that she be paid by a third-party company for her work. So let's sort of take a step back here. When you're volunteering on a campaign, whether it be election or leadership campaign, you're not allowed to be paid. Volunteering is volunteering, and that is the distinction here, is that you're also not allowed as a campaign to take donations or contributions, I should say, from companies, trade unions, and associations, and that type of thing. So the rules are very clear according to Elections Canada, which also govern these types of leadership campaigns. And so this is the heart of the accusation. Have a look at part of her statement here from Deborah Jaudoin. She is saying that Patrick Brown was specifically involved in this and helped to arrange this type of arrangement where she could work on the campaign. She says, Mr. Brown told me that it was permissible for me to be employed by a company as a consultant and then for that company to have me volunteer with the campaign. Again, you can work with the campaign outside of your normal working hours. This is the type of thing, if you're a teacher, let's say, and then you decide that you want to go work for a campaign after your hours, that is permissible. What she is alleging, though, is that there was some sort of a scheme, it would seem, where she would be paid for that work by another company.
So what's the Brown camp now saying in response?
Yeah, up until this point, they were saying that they didn't know the allegations and they didn't know the full extent of the allegations, only learning them through the media. Now that this has come out, there was a statement that was put out by Brown's campaign and one of his spokespeople, Chisholm Poitier, and he was saying essentially that once Ms. Jaudoin provided information, it was the obligation of the Conservative Party to fairly and to conduct themselves fairly and transparently. They have failed to do so, and instead chose to use this for other obvious purposes. Those purposes have nothing to do with the integrity of the party or a genuine desire to hear out our campaign. Poitier going on, saying that the goal clearly was to narrow down the field and have Patrick Brown out of this race, as opposed to having a full due diligence on this and doing the investigation and allowing them the time to respond. And that is one of the things that they're pushing back on.
Okay, and no doubt this is going to have a big impact on the race. What is Jean Charest saying this morning?
Yeah, he was somebody that we managed to speak to yesterday before hearing from Jaudoin. He at the outset was saying, look, we need a full airing of this, fully understand what the allegation is. Interesting, though, asked about what the knock-on effect could be here, because I think a lot of people were asking, okay, let's say Brown is out of the race, then what? Well, Jean Charest has an interesting take on this. While he says it's very unfortunate that this is happening to Patrick Brown, calls him a friend, says that he came into the Conservative Party when Jean Charest was the leader of the Progressive Conservatives. But have a listen to what Charest thinks could be the effect for his campaign.
I mean, no one wanted this to happen, but the reverse side of the coin is that the people who came in with Mr. Brown are overwhelmingly going to be supporting my candidacy for the leadership. And the organizers will be helping us make that happen and making them vote, encouraging people to vote, which is a challenge in itself to get the vote out.
So, Marcia, Jean Charest there saying what I think a number of pundits sort of thought, that if the progressive vote that Patrick Brown had potentially brought into this race was going to move somewhere, that it could move to Jean Charest, and at least that's what he thinks.
All right, Mike, thanks for that update.